Bonjour, salut. I'm Jack Westman for ESEAnews.com here in, still in Paris, France for the Electronic Sports World Cup 2012. With me are Sean and Hiko from Area 51, who have just placed third, right? You've just had your third place game. You've topped N faculty. How are you feeling right now? It was literally 10 minutes ago that you won. What's going through your head?
It feels good because technically the only teams we lost to here are Very Games and NIP. We came in with a top 3 expectations. Obviously it would have been nice to beat Very Games since we beat them on that first map, and we were up, what, 9-0 or whatever on train. That was pretty devastating. Yeah. But it does feel good that we came out with a win today. We kind of stuck through and persevered on that last map. I'm really proud of us.
Pretty much the same thing, you know. We expected top 3. As you said, we only lost to NIP in Very Games, so we're happy with it. We could have done better, but we'll take third for now.
Were you surprised with the fight that N faculty put up? Because N faculty came in, they lost their 2 group stage games pretty badly early on, and then came back and qualified for the semi-final, lost to NIP as pretty much everybody has. And then, you know, you beat them first map, the second they took from you, and the third was close at times until you pulled away. Did you boot camp against them at all? Was it completely new coming into this? What did you think of the fight they put up?
Yeah, they played great. We watched a few of their demos, actually. I don't know if you saw, but in between maps, yeah, both of the leaders of the teams had the demos for the other teams open.
Did that help you at all?
It did, actually. Half the stuff I called the nuke were direct anti-strats, but yeah, it worked pretty great. We didn't get to boot camp against them. We saw they used Molotovs a lot, yeah, which was what exactly our problem was against Very Games. Very Games kept on Molotoving train, and we had no way of kind of expecting what was going to happen since we never practiced train. But since we practiced nuke against the Euros, we kind of knew to take it slow and re-hit and just kind of bait them out way better than we did. And I think we did a really good job of it on nuke.
Again, as Sean said, N faculty is one of those Euro teams that do use Molotovs, and it is so much different playing a Euro team that uses them compared to playing an American team that uses one, because they have like set spots that people throw them. So, you know, when you play an American, they'll just kind of pre-molly it. They won't really, it seems like they don't use them as well as they do here. So it's a different play style, and we were trying to adapt to it. So.
Yeah, sure.
And to add on to what he said just now, I've seen a lot of posts on the forums saying we look kind of disorganized, and yeah, we do, but people don't realize how hard it is to adapt to these Molotovs and stuff like that completely shut down your strat. It's like you need to have backup of backup of backup strats. Yeah. And since we just got here and we didn't really get to boot camp very long, it's hard to have all that stuff, and people don't realize that. Yeah. So that's kind of our defense as far as why sometimes we look more sloppy than other times.
Okay, sure. Well, just as a side question then, before I move on to my next one, do you think this tournament would have been better without Molotovs? Because DreamHack has made the decision not to use it. Would you rather have seen that here as well?
I actually enjoy the Molotovs. I've always been for it. I say that I'm for it, but there needs to be a limit on them. There needs to be 1 or 2 a team. Yeah. Like if you saw Very Games versus on train, they all 5 had them. I remember one time we hit inner and I heard 3 of them explode on the back wall behind me. Like that, what are we supposed to do? Inner's just an open bomb site, so we ran towards them. And yeah, people are like, you're peeking. Well, we don't have a choice. We're running past the fire. Yeah, exactly. So I think there needs to be a limit on how many a team can buy.
I don't got anything.
He doesn't have anything.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about the semi-final game against Very Games then. I know Sam, Dazed, and Trey played them last year, and they got knocked out by them last year as well. So it feels like the French guys are always, you know, the Americans' last stand. You won the opening map, right? You're pretty strong on Dust 2. You took them to overtime and shut them down 19-16 in the end. They're very strong on nuke, right? So they went to nuke and lost that. Were you disappointed that you had the map advantage on them? You're up 1 map and just couldn't close it out. And just talk me through. You know what went wrong in that best of 3.
That best of 3 was a lot different than today's best of 3 in that we didn't have any way to anti them. We hadn't seen any of their demos. We're actually probably the only 5 gamers on this planet that don't have a functioning laptop that can run CSGO. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we actually have to be here at the venue in order to watch the demos. We tried to download them, they wouldn't run on our crappy laptops. So I wish we kind of had an idea of how they would play on train. Maybe we could have adapted a little bit better. We did make the choice, as I posted on the forums, to eliminate Inferno, which is a map we actually have practiced a lot, but we've lost every time we played it. Scrims, matches, everything here. The teams in Europe are just absolutely ridiculous on Inferno. Yeah. I kind of regret leaving it in the pool against N faculty. They're just so much better than the Americans on Inferno. I've never seen any of the stuff that they really do. They have perfect pop flash setups. They played a bit different though. They had a guy in Boiler every round that was kind of like almost screaming us, and he was making Trey very upset. But if he goes that on.
About going back to the Very Games thing, I mean, I thought that we could have done better. It felt like on Train we had something going there, and then something they kind of adapted to us, and we didn't counter-adapt back to them. So we kind of got rolled over like the second half of first half. And I mean, after that, our T-sides on every map have been kind of weak, and it's something that we have to go back and work on, and that is our main problem right now. So hopefully, you know, if we get to beat them again at a tournament, we'll be ready for it.
And to add on to what he said, yeah, our T-sides are actually terrible right now. What we have versus Americans is a lot of choke point takes, a lot of clears of just the main areas of the map, and not so much bomb site takes. The Euros, they have these bomb site takes because they know how to play passive. The Americans do not play this passive because they never know how to counter flash. So they have to play the choke points and they have to push you. It's gonna be tough to practice that kind of stuff when Americans are just pushing you, but we're gonna have to figure out a way to do it. I mean, maybe accept some scrim losses here and there.
Yeah. Okay. So, so you mentioned some things that you've seen Europeans doing here. If you had to pick, you know, 3 core take-home lessons that you guys have learned, because obviously you've got ESEA land coming up. So, what points? What are the main things you've learned here in Europe at this event that you're going to take home and kind of incorporate into your game to make you a better team?
I feel like our CT setups and our rotations were excellent throughout the whole tournament. Not much we can change as far as CT goes. Just keep looking at demos, kind of adapting. Keep working on our counter flash setups. T-sides, I think we need a lot more executes, a lot more fake executes to draw out Molotovs. Honestly, we just need to bait Molotovs way better, especially on maps like Train, Inferno. Dust 2 is a map that people can't really Molotov their choke points as well as they can on the other maps, which explains our success. It's a lot more spread out. People can't Molotov the same spot over and over and over and over because people are spread out a lot more. That explains our success on Dust 2. We just weren't used to what we saw, I guess.
Okay, sure. Just a couple more questions, then I'll let you guys go. Debatable. I mean, not all the teams in the world are at this event, right? But you are kind of this third at this event is kind of like being third best in the world, right? So, yeah, not to flatter or anything. Is it? I mean, how does having that kind of semi-official title feel? Is it validating? I know you said you're expecting a top 3, but I mean, does this kind of validate you guys as one of the best teams in the world?
It honestly does. It feels great. The teams that were at this tournament, with the exception of maybe MTW, who got kind of bounced due to like using a ringer throughout qualifiers. I don't know what happened there, but I'd say all the best teams in the world are here. It would have been nice to see an Asian team just to see like kind of how they're playing the game. It feels really good. I'm not gonna lie. I know we can hang with all the teams here. We felt like we put up good fights against both NIP and Very Games compared to what most teams did. Yeah, it feels really good.
Yeah, I agree. Being, as you said, being the third best team in the world, it's coming back to us now to get better though, and for us to improve against American teams, it's going to take a lot more, not dedication, but I would call it
better practice.
Yeah, we need to practice better, and we need to practice not so much. We had a practice regimen of like 5 days a week for like 4 hours, and half of that time would be spent just waiting, doing nothing. So hopefully we can practice more efficiently, and it will make us better.
Yeah, and this is for teams like Dynamic and HMO who refuse to scrim us and help us out going to ESWC. It's kind of crazy. HMO kind of turned the corner and started scrimming us closer to ESWC, and I thank them for that because it did help out a lot. But I think it's ridiculous that a team like Dynamic wouldn't practice against us going into this event to help us out. We're from their same continent. We're the sole representatives of America, and they couldn't help us out. So I don't know. We're gonna scrim them. I can promise you that going into Dream Hat because they're gonna need it.
Okay. Penultimate question, I guess. This is the second consecutive event where an American Hope has been dashed by, NIP and Very Games in this case. Sam and TCK had it last year. It's been a while since America has had a team capable of coming in and winning events like this. I think of Complexity back in like 05, 06. What is it going to take for Americans to, truly catch up with the Euros to the point where you can beat Very Games and NIP and you're on the stage in the final?
It's just going to take watching these demos. I think part of the problem was there wasn't GoTV to kind of feel out how other people were playing it. People in America thought that their way of playing it was the only way. They couldn't understand another way. With this GoTV, people will understand, oh, look, a counter flash setup. Look, when people walk into B, this is how we can hold it, rather than direct peeking them and stuff like that. So I do think the GoTV will help bring it back around full circle, but we will be behind.
So you think that if you'd had more information about these teams, you could have won this whole thing?
I wouldn't say that, but I mean, it would help us better understand how they play. Before this, we just had streams with people just kind of only being able to watch one person at a time, not really much map overview to understand how a strat breaks down and how it works. But now with GoTV, America can at least watch how the Europeans play and change it around to kind of fit the American scene a little bit better. So I am interested to see how the playstyles do change.
And as I said before, trying to practice against Americans to prepare us for Europeans is really difficult, and it takes a lot of discipline on our end to not, when we start getting pushed and start getting scrimmed, as Sean says, to not push back and scrim back. Like, we need to keep our composure. We need to play like we're gonna play, and we need to really not care what they do, just to practice what we're supposed to be doing. So, and trying to, as Sean said with the HLTV thing, allowing us to see how they play and break down their strats, we can base strats off of that too. So not only will it better us as individuals, being able to see how they play their spots, but we can base our team strats around it too. So.
And I think probably Semphis and I are two hugest HLTV demo watchers on this planet, so we'll probably pull stuff from this event just to see how people play. And they must be introducing the girls right now.
Yeah. Okay, last question before shoutouts then. Has it been worth it? Have you had fun?
It's been great. I wish we would have done a little bit more research into the LAN cafe we played at. We had the initial idea to go to Germany and play. I wish we would have just went through with it. I believe it was only 100 euros or something like that. So we should have actually probably went to Germany to boot camp. Looking back, I wish we would have done that. Everything else has been great. The hotel ESWC provided is awesome. Everything's pretty close. I really enjoy it. And I think we're going to probably head to the Louvre after this, actually, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, it was definitely worth it. Sean said the LAN center that we were, boot camping at was really bad. And, the staff were nice, don't get me wrong.
Awesome.
The staff was amazing. But the place was just, it wasn't really set up as a CSGO, LAN. And it was almost to the point unplayable. And all we could really do was just kind of run around with our chickens with our chickens with our head cut off and just see what they do. So we couldn't really practice any of our stuff against them. We were trying to see what they were doing.
Okay, sure. Lastly but not least, for anyone who didn't see the first video of you guys, shoutouts.
Sure. Shout out to Area 51, Steel Series, all the people that helped us get here. Do you anyone else want to thank David Cho, Jessica Meyer.
Gigabyte.
There we go.
Awesome. Guys, thank you very much. Congratulations on the third place finish, and I hope to see you again very soon.